Hey everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I think you can. New setup. Well, we'll see. I've been a little bored with the old setup. Decided old heads know. Old slobs know that about this setup. With my good enough. I think. Or is this going to screw me? Yeah, this is going to screw me. Ah, boy. Which webcam is this? We can put it over. There it is. Haha. So, yeah, a little different setup. I decided to move around where I was sitting. Don't know. Thought it would be fun. We're actually on my laptop right now. I can't see the comments. I will in a second. Oh. I haven't posted this anywhere, so. Can you see me? I don't know. It's a little far away. I don't know. My back has been starting to hurt in that position up there. Okay, this should work. Haha! Haha! Yes! I win! Okay, create a post. I have no idea who will see this, but we'll see. I'm live on Twitch and I'm drawing. This is way out of my normal time, but it's the weekend. I figured this would work. I need to shake things up a little bit, and if that's just as simple as like, hey, I'm just gonna go downstairs and stream for a little bit, maybe that's it. I'm the most high quality camera. Usually when I do this, I have a much higher quality camera that I use. Not. This is the same one I always use, but that's just my webcam on my computer. La 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 la. I'm still mad over that stupid fight me and Lizard had a few weeks ago. I'm angry at myself that I'm still mad at it. Dumb. Dumb. I got overly invested. Because it reminded me of all the conversations I had where people are like, I'm not... Where it's just like... People are like, well, my exceptionally rigid definition of art is the only thing that matters, and art, it just irritates me because I love it when people do that. Just love it. Yes, okay. It's stupid. I shouldn't be mad over it, but I'm still frustrated. You can hear see them. Oh, fuck. Obviously, as a heterosexual male, I don't enjoy drawing attractive women whatsoever, purely for artistic reasons. I'm a deeply petty person, and I'm aware of that, and I struggle with that. And I always think I'm getting better, and then I let something get to me, and then that's just that. But to be fair, I haven't had as long as I've been without a freak out on somebody, which is pretty good for me. And as much as I love my dad, I definitely picked this up from him. This is how my dad behaved all the time. It's like you could be talking to him in 1 minute and he just goes like stupid, and it'd be like this huge argument. Like me and my dad once got into an argument. Hey, how's it going, buddy? 1 second. Oh, wrong way. Gotta turn off the autofocus on this. There it is. Aha. How's it going, my friend? Is it crooked? It still feels crooked to me. I don't know. Just to repeat that, I wish he was still here, and I'd rather him be here and have a stupid argument again than him be gone. Okay. 1 second. Oh, yeah. Okay. Can we wait? Why is the text so big? 1 second. I'm just. Okay, that should work. Oh, happy Eid. One second. Is the text... How's the text? Does it look good in your mind? I think it looks okay. Did you do anything fun? Oh. Take any more pictures? Oh, it's nice to sit here. May do watercolors in a little bit if I feel like it. You know, warm up with just pen drawing, so. Okay, good. I was bored, decided to go to a different setup for a little bit. Like it? Also, my back has been killing me in the old setup, and I don't know what to do about that. But there it is. Okay, looks fine. So what sort of nonsense have you been up to lately? Weren't you taking your exams? Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Thank you. Probably try a slightly different setup next time, maybe. We'll see. If I we'll stream down here for a while. I need it to be a little different, you know. Sometimes you just get like, with this stuff, you get like very, like, it feels like it just goes on, you know, like, it feels like nothing ever changes, and you're just like, if I have to do this anymore, I'm gonna... It's calm. I feel calm. That's cool. Feel free to share if you want. You're good. I think your photos are quite cool, though. Have I ever said that? I imagine. Oh, that's good. So how's your comic going, buddy? Just doing random stuff. I got this picture here that I want to try and draw. Who knows if I'll pull it off. My drawing has been feeling off lately. It happens. You kind of go in and out of ability on art. You know? I was really sharp there for a while, and then I'm kind of plateaued. Hey! The pixie can't sleep, my goodness! And Chino Bear Art, hey! Hey, welcome! Welcome. Hey. I know you are from Kaz's stream, and Pixie, it has been a while. How are things going? Yeah, no. It's been a bit. Just means we're... But I'm happy nonetheless. And lurk away, Chin. How? Well, I'll try and be as calming. I'll try and be as calming as possible. What are you writing? Fun stuff or boring stuff? Oh, thank you. Yeah. I hope I do okay today. I feel like I'm having an off day art-wise, which is always fun. Which is always fun to go through on stream. What are you writing? Oh shoot! It's Camp Nanana now. Oh, I should participate in that. Yeah. I never finish it anyways. I do have a fiction project I'm working on. What fanfic are we writing? I knew it was Chainsaw Man something. I am aware of Common Writer. I do not know much about it. I'm aware that it is a thing, and I know it's a big deal, but I don't really know anything about it besides that. I should watch more Chainsaw Man. I liked the first episode. I just didn't want. I'm incredibly lazy. See, I could tell that had gone wrong. I'm incredibly lazy watching things. You know. This on my pencil right now. Hello.
Just in case I can't get a ball for the other one.
You found that is a beautiful.
Only $12.
Dang. You want to set it up,
Upstairs.
or just right here for right
You
now?
want it here?
Just for at least for right now. Yeah.
Because this would shine directly over.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought process. It's
I
fun.
think there's a cord back there. Are you on?
Yes. It's funny. Well, the house will just be full of old lamps.
Yeah, that's what I find. And there's a taller one that I was thinking of for when you're on the chair. It's $60. I said I'd come and ask you about it.
Yeah, go ahead, get it.
But you look at it first. There was a really gorgeous one. I asked you to try to swivel it, and she broke.
She what?
She broke. Okay.
Oh, that's sad.
But I mean, there must be something wrong with it.
Okay, let's see. Oh, lovely, lovely.
Oh, perfect, huh?
Yes, it
Is
is.
it better than that little thing you have?
They're pretty comparable.
I mean, the black thing.
Oh, that's the camera. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah.
No, it's perfect. Mom.
Is it on?
Yes, it's on. It's on. You were shining it in my eyes just there a second ago. Yeah. Oh, yes, there is a Discord, Pixie. Sorry. Feel free to join it. I should do more with it than I do, but. Oh, she thought. My mom thought this was my camera up here was a light. You're seeing it right now. It's broadcasting into your soul. There's also a YouTube channel if anybody's curious. I make frequent videos there. No. I actually have 2 YouTube channels, but occasionally. You know, like there's a part of me that thinks it's like so ephemeral. I like keeping it a little bit ephemeral, and that like this is screw noise. That this is the only place you get to see it for right now, but I probably should give that up. Hey, Slazy Town, how's it going, buddy? If people want to follow a really good artist, follow Slazy. Also, follow me on YouTube. Do it, Pixie. Tell us about your scene. Sorry, yeah, just. Okay, so what's holding you up? I'm good. We're just kicking back. We're relaxing. Trying to do a little bit of art here. A little bit, I'm going to try and do some watercolors. I'm much more nervous about that. Just warming up with pencils and ink at the moment. What you got going on? I am serious about that, guys. If you want to follow a really good artist, go follow my buddy here. You will not be disappointed. Yeah, I'm taking a class in it. And, you know, I want to practice it. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Oh no. It is, though. It is an epic, terrible pain. That beguiles humanity. So what are we all working on today? Hello? Okay. Yeah. Oh, cool. No, you would not be a bad person. Or if it excites you, the thrill of doing something bad excites you. Yes, you would be a bad person. That's cool. Be a rebel. Rebel against the corporate state. How's it going? Exactly. Rules were meant to be broken. I just don't think I can get this ID right. You doing the tattooed girl for any reason or just for fun? Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Do something else. I'm just not getting this one. I swear I'm a better artist than this. very frustrating days where it's just like, even though you know what you're doing now, like, I feel like I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing. It's just like, your hands are like, nope, you're not going to do it right. We have decided that today you will suck. And there is nothing you can do about it. So what art expo is this? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then there's just other days where it's just like, no matter what you do, you hit it out of the park and you're doing fantastic. It's like, I feel like there is like once a week every month, I do really good. Like I can't be stopped. And I'm like, I'm doing amazing. Somehow it's all clicking together. And then outside of that, it's like back to the struggle times. Oh, anybody can draw. It's a skill anybody can learn. I say this as a person who did not start taking art start drawing until he was 26. I've gotten pretty good at it. I've gotten pretty good at it for somebody who has not been doing it very long. I've only done art seriously for about 4 years. It's totally possible to learn. I know maybe people don't believe that now, but trust me, it is. Yeah. Wow. Oh, music. Oh. Yeah. Well, we all go at our own pace. But, I very firmly believe it's all about, like, what finally got me to be able to do it was I realized, like, I always explain it like it's a video game, like you're just grinding in a video game. And it's slow, very slow, very progressive, but it's eventually you get there, you know? It's just, if you have the time to do it, you can do it eventually. The trick is time. It's just time. And then and then there's some people that you meet who are like, I've met like 12-year-olds who are like just like savants, and that is a humbling day when you meet a 12-year-old savant who's like, yeah, I don't know, I just do it and it's natural to me. And it's like, I hate you. I hate you so much. Pixie, I can guarantee you could do it. I believe in you. Art is a skill I believe anybody, if they can learn. It just takes time. Yes, you can do it, Pixie. Okay, Pixie, this is going to be so unhelpful. Yeah. This is going to be so unhelpful. Unhelpful and stuff. Get a sketchbook, get a pencil and an eraser. Get some references, draw really anything, and just start drawing, and just keep going at it every day. While you're watching TV, just sit back and relax and draw while you're watching TV. And just keep doing it and keep doing it. There's a few, I mean, I can recommend you a few guys, but the real trick of it is if you just want to keep doing it, you'll get there eventually. I'll recommend you some. There's a few people I use. I know that's very unhelpful, but it's the truth. An in-person class is pretty good, but I know that's very nerve-wracking for a lot of people. It's nerve-wracking for me. But usually, like, teachers are just passionate people who really want to help you. Those are two people that helped me out. But remember, it's just The most important thing you can do to become an artist is just practice. And I know it sounds crazy, and I know it sounds like, well, I need something. You will just get better. You will just get better. It's kind of mental training in a lot of ways. You have to kind of prepare. You're essentially you're training your hand-eye You're kind of training your hand-eye coordination to work really specifically. And it's also it's training you also how So, this is just a personal pet theory, but have you ever seen okay, so you know that most subway maps you see are not to scale, right? If you look at a subway map, it's not to scale, it's not perspective, it's not balanced right. Yeah, they're not balanced right. So the reason why people do that is because your brain doesn't see things the way you think it does. Okay. But your brain doesn't see things the way you think. The brain doesn't see things the way you think it does. Like, you look at something and it's like a full image, but really what your brain is doing is processing all the bits and pieces of the image and kind of assembling it together in a way that makes sense. You know. And a thing I think artists struggle with is that's sort of how the brain works with art, is that you'll focus on minor things, and you'll focus on you'll focus on one bit and one part, and the brain is working like it usually does and assembling things. And what a lot of art practice is, I realize, is training your brain to not think in that way. This may be pseudoscience, but this is the way I kind of explain it. It's essentially training your brain to perceive things differently, almost. Yeah. Well, that's part of it, yeah. But it's training your brain to. You're training your brain to think in a more abstract way, and it takes time for your brain to kind of get that. In a different way than it's used to. One thing people have one thing I knew I struggled with when I was learning art when I first started out, and I'm by far no expert. I'm still struggling with a lot of stuff. Is one of the things I struggled with is my proportions were all crazy. That's that's definitely it. Just start. One thing about learning art, you just have to learn to be embarrassed for a while. You're gonna suck. I'm just gonna say it out loud. You're gonna suck for a while, and it's gonna be annoying, but you'll get better at it every time you do it. And as long as you're consistent with it, the way I got better at it was I just sat there and did it every day. Hey Chloe, how's it going? I did it every day, even if I just drew a little bit. We're trying to encourage Pixie here to try and teach themselves how to draw. And I'm I'm failing to explain how I got better at art. And we have a lot of very talented artists in the thread right now who probably could explain it better than me. Yeah, okay. I'll screw this part up. Exactly. But art is fun because it's a leisure. I consider art to be a leisure like a leisure art. It's an art that you can do while doing other things. I listen to podcasts a lot. Like I listen to podcasts and audiobooks a lot when I do art. I think that works. Who listens to podcasts? I'm even kind of friendly with a few people who have one. Tried to start one of my own, actually, but those are hard to organize. Oh, yes, good. Yes. I don't know. Who? My favorite podcast is Comedy Bang Bang. I don't know. Nobody knows that one. Comedy Bang Bang. Comedy Bang Bang. It's a comedy podcast. It's really funny. I would love to do a podcast. I recorded an episode of one and it's out there, but I'm not happy with it. Well, I am happy with it, but people got busy. I still don't really have like a premise for one yet. Do you listen to what type of podcast do you listen to? It's very it's very goofy humor, Comedy Bang Bang. Comedy Bang Bang, come. Hello! Girlie, hello! Yeah, that was kind of the idea, but, so the problem was, I recorded an episode of it, and then both of my co-hosts got jobs that caused them to be very busy. And they couldn't really do it anymore. So we managed to get one episode done, and then it became nearly impossible to do it again. And it's hard. I would prefer to have like a co-host with me, or like have guests or something. And I don't know. I just don't want to go around like. I want to, and someday I will. I'm paying for that. Yeah, when it's not professional, people's. It's hard to maintain stuff like that, especially when you have like wife and job and all that sort of stuff. Life is I'm pretty passionate about like history and stuff. I thought about doing like a history podcast or something. I don't know. Guys, want to hear my thoughts on comic? You guys want to hear my thoughts on various historical figures and or comic books? My two passions, and movies. Yeah, that's... Oh, there's a ton. Yeah, it is. History podcasts are a little hard just because, like, there's so many out there and they've all covered, like, a bunch of stuff. Yeah. It is. You guys want to hear about the Lockheed Martin bribery scandal? I was trying to it. I was gonna try and do a podcast about that, but I don't know. Okay, let's start. Lockheed Martin. Yeah, that's the thing. So, okay, who knows what Lockheed Martin? Who knows what Lockheed Martin is? Just basic. Lockheed Martin is one of the major like arms developers here in the U.S. And they do a lot of things. They make tanks, but like one of the big things that they make is planes. And in the 50s and 60s during the Korean War, they started development on a plane called the Starfighter. Well, Starfighter. And the Starfighter was a small, like, jet engine plane. And in many ways, it was the most advanced plane in the world at the time. It was super fast, it was super light, and it was super efficient. The problem is... it required... a level of pilotry skill that almost no pilot had. So it would often, they were called flying coffins because pilots kept dying in them. It didn't help that they had, their initial design plans were bizarre. Like, to save space, one of the ideas that they had was that they were going to traditional planes, when they eject, they eject up. But Lockheed Martin had this idea that, that requires a bunch of space. You have to set up that apparatus. Why don't we eject down? Why don't we just have the person shoot down? I don't know if it's evident, but a propulsion down is essentially like shooting somebody down. Essentially, they built a human gun. Now, under the right conditions, the Starfighter was an amazing plane. In fact, it was the first plane to cross into the stratosphere, which is... Yeah, exactly. That kills people. It broke into the stratosphere, which is a major accomplishment. But it just didn't work. It was too advanced. It was for most pilots to handle. So, what do you do with a plane like this? Well, see, the problem is, Lockheed Martin had spent a lot of money developing this plane. And the government had agreed, and the U.S. government had agreed to take on debts. And no government in their right mind would sign up to actually fly a plane to buy a plane like this. But you know what a lot of government officials would be really into? Bribes. You know, government officials really like bribes. And major bribes. So that became Lockheed Martin's plan, and they started peppering a variety of different NATO nations with bribes. West Germany, the Netherlands, Spain, and Japan. And I'll get to Japan in a minute. Exactly. Japan, by the way, is the big story about the effect this has in Japan. But talk about the plane kills maybe about. The estimates are different, and I don't remember exact numbers, but it's estimated that possibly the plane killed over 100 pilots in West Germany. And when I say these things happen, very serious, horrible shit happened. And the numbers differ in different countries. Prince Reinhardt in the Netherlands also was accused of being part of the bribery scandal. And if you Google Prince Reinhardt, Okay, so Prince Reinhardt is a figure that is difficult, has a lot of conspiracy theories behind him. Because Prince Reinhardt is one of the founders of the Brandenburg Group. So Prince Reinhardt is accused of being the Illuminati. The Brandenburg Group is accused of being a lot of shitty, horrible, conspiracy theorists accuse that of being the secret world government, and it's not. But this is a story that is kind of prone to conspiracy thinking. So, because when we get to Japan, there's going to be a lot of strange conspiracies that go around this, and I need you to be prepped for that, because what happens in Japan is wild. So, and I'm also going to get some names wrong, and I am going to apologize, but these are not great people, so these are not great people who are doing this, so I don't know, maybe it evens out just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about Japan. And who Japan and who Lockheed Martin hires. Yoshio Kameda is the man Lockheed Martin hires to as their fixer. Now, Kameda is is kind of an infamous figure in Japanese history and politics. Kameda was how to explain who he is. Kameda was he never held office in anything, but in some ways he may have been the most powerful man in Japan for a long time. He was a extremely right-wing nationalist, and he's the type of and he is directly involved in many of the worst atrocities. indirectly involved or directly involved in many of the worst atrocities that the Japanese will commit in World War II. He was a smuggler during World War II, and a really good smuggler at that. In fact, he was so good that he efficiently... He at one point was estimated to maybe be the richest man in Japan. He was also probably the highest rate... He was at one point, at this time in history, was maybe the highest ranked... was maybe the most powerful Yakuza boss member in the nation. And essentially was the Yakuza in some way or another during this time. But this is important to remember, he was also a major power player in politics. He was personal friends with Rishi... Oh God, I always forget how to say it. He was personal friends with Rishi... the first post... the first... Rishiki... well, he's personal friends with him too. Nobunesku Kishe. I'm sorry. I swear I was going to learn how to pronounce all these names, but I didn't do it. Now, Kishe is a complicated figure in that he is an evil son of a bitch that probably should have been executed for war crimes, but instead he was made Prime Minister of Japan in post-war period. He's known as the monster of the Showa era, and he was in charge of the Manchurian. He was one of the power players of the Manchurian puppet state, and was also heavily involved in heavily involved in many of the atrocities that Japan committed during World War II. In fact, he was one of the main organizers of them. A truly contemptible figure that nevertheless the U.S. decided would be the perfect person to be Prime Minister of Japan. And them combined with Yoshida funded the Liberal Democratic Party to victory. Now, the Liberal Democratic Party is still in charge of Japan. They are still the most powerful party in Japanese politics, and in many ways, Japan is a one-state system. And And Kishi's grandson, Shinzo Abe, was also Prime Minister of Japan. Fun stuff, right? Fun stuff. Anyways, it's okay. So one thing we have to learn a little bit about politics, Japanese politics, is what the hard right was reacting to in Japanese politics. And it's important to understand that after World War II, one of the provisions, and you'll see a lot of like hardliner nationalists in Japan complain about this particular provision. I forget what number it is. It's provision 8 in the Japanese Constitution, I believe. I may be wrong, but essentially it declares that Japan can only ever be a defensive force. It can't. It can only defend from attacks. It can't use its military to attack people anymore. And this, I should point out, this has broad popularity in Japan for the most part. Japanese really like that they don't really get into wars now anymore. But for a certain section of the populace, this is a grave affront to Japanese, like, prestige and honor and all that sort of bullshit. And it's, and there's a lot of politics associated with trying to get rid of that provision in the Constitution. Getting political here, but this is a story about politicians. It's a little hard not to. And so part of the ultra-right nationalist Japanese hatred is particularly towards America for imposing that restriction on them. They feel America, like there's this whole thing about how America has like unfairly neutered them and has like destroyed their like rightful places as the all this stuff. And it's and that's a constant political debate in Japan. Not to get into it, but that, I don't live there, but that's kind of my take on it, at least. So this is ultra-right nationalism in Japanese politics. All makes sense, right? So, let me tell you about Let's take a swerve here. Let me tell you about Mishima. Mishima is possibly Yoko Mishima is possibly one of the greatest novelists Japan ever produced. He is also a LGBT icon in Japanese history, as he was a very, very gay man who wrote about gay issues in Japanese life. He was married and had a wife, but it's the 50s. But he was very open with his affairs with men and stuff like that. He was called an infant terrible of like the Japanese scene. He would say provocative shit to annoy people. He was also Mishima was several times shortlisted for a Nobel Prize in Literature, just to kind of hint at what a big deal this guy is. They made a movie about his life a couple of years ago that's quite good. Mishima in four stages, I believe it's called. Very good movie. He was also obsessed with bodybuilding. And this is important. One, because he was a short guy. He was like 5'2". I think he was like 5'4". And he's one of those guys who's obsessed with he's a very short but very muscular guy. And Mishima was a hard right nationalist, also obsessed with returning Japan to he was descendant of samurai, and the samurai people who are descendant of samurai have weird things. Some of them are perfectly happy. Have no interest. Akira Kurosawa was also descendant from samurai, and he had a pretty cynical take on samurai. But Mishima was wanted the return of old Japan, and particularly he wanted the emperor to be returned to power. Which for Japanese history, if you want a good primer on Japanese history, it's always about returning the emperor to power. Up to the modern era, that's always the main issue that they're all complaining about is we need to return the emperor to proper power. So he starts working out. And getting very obsessed. Mishima starts working out and getting very obsessed with bodybuilding, and he starts attracting young male college students to also participate in these bodybuilding, and this slowly morphs from a workout group to a political group with him at the center. And of course, one of the people he's obsessed with was Yoshio. They were obsessed with Kamada, the gangster. To him, he's a hero and an idol to them. You know, this powerful figure. And one of the members of this group was a young man by the name of Masato Menno. I am sorry. This was sort of half improvised, half planned. I didn't mean to. Anyway. Now, Menno was many things. He was many things. He had studied acting at the University of California, and that seemed to be his dream, was to be an actor. And for that, I can sympathize. He was also very passionate about flying planes. And that's a fun thing to be. He unfortunately struggled to get into acting. To break it into films. Not a lot of work there in Japan. But he did get work in what are called pink films in Japan. And pink films are like softcore porns, pretty much. They're porn. He was a porn star. And so these are all the players. And so when the news breaks that Kameda... So after the deaths, they began to investigate. After the deaths and somehow Lockheed Martin getting all these great deals, the U.S. government, they began to investigate, and there's obvious corruption charges. And the thing about Lockheed Martin at the time was they were not doing well financially, and the government had in fact agreed to take on some of their finances, because Lockheed Martin is one of these companies that's kind of too big to fail at this point for the U.S. And when they started investigating, they found out about all these bribery scandals. And it's a big deal in all the countries, but in Japan, this is a national, this is a major scandal. This is a major scandal because the prime ministers were involved. Everybody was involved in this. And and when Matsumo learns that Kameda, one of his idols, was taking bribes from this kind of sets him down a path. He was taking bribes from the American government. And the thing about it was he wasn't just taking bribes from the American government. He was the American government's man on the inside. Kameda was the CIA's power source. He was involved in suppressing any socialism from the U.S. happening. Any labor disputes mysteriously got settled by Kameda. And the fact that Kameda had been a U.S. agent the whole time is devastating for this man. And he was not obviously sex work is real work, and I respect that, but he was not a happy person. He had tried to commit suicide before, and he gets it into his head that to restore Japan's honor, he will commit a kamikaze attack on Kameda's mansion. And he, in fact, does do it. He commits a kamikaze attack, and this is the first kamikaze attack that happened. This is the first kamikaze attack that happens. This is the last kamikaze attack that happens in Japanese history, and Atsuma manages to kills himself. But he totally missed Kameda! He missed him! Kameda was perfectly fine! Now you may be asking yourself, what happened at the end of all this? Kameda died a few months later from a stroke before he could go to trial. Lockheed Martin was eventually forced to pay a couple $1 million in fines, and they got to continue on. And for a brief time, the Liberal Democrats lost their power, and the Socialist Party took over. And they eventually got it back, and they are still in charge till to this day. It is, and so that's the Lockheed Martin scandal. And that justifies a week of research I did into it. I apologize to Japan for mispronouncing everybody's names so badly, but yeah, so I was going to write an article on it. So that's a bit of history if anybody's curious. I don't want to talk about the... I'm uncomfortable talking about what Japan actually did in the war because it's pretty horrific. But if anybody tries to tell you... I would be... Anyways. Yeah. So, I hope that was interesting. I've been wanting to write an article about it for a bit, or book, really. I kind of thought of writing a fiction book based on it, but I don't have a decent enough take. Oh yeah, U.S. did a lot of fucked up shit post-war. I will. I wanted to make it a YouTube video. Did I scare away everybody? We could talk about the Nubian dynasty. I've been researching them lately. Of Egypt. The 25th dynasty. The Nubians. The Kush dynasty. A few other ways to describe them. When Egypt was saved from decadence by the people they once colonized. There's a lot to talk about, and I haven't really researched it as much as I just started researching it a day or two ago. Not at all because I was a little annoyed by a recent controversy, and I decided that it might as well. For some reason, we don't talk about that dynasty, even though we probably should. I'll let people. I won't get more into that. I will let the words speak for themselves when I'm ready to show it. you guys want to hear a funny story about the creator of Batman? That I will preface, I have never seen anybody else confirm this story, so it may be just one guy's recollection of something that he kind of just made up to be funny. But it's a funny story nonetheless, and it speaks a lot to... So, Batman was created by two people, most likely. Two people. Bob Kane came up with the name Batman, and another man by the name of Bill Finger came up with Batman's secret identity, Gotham City, Robin, all the villains, and Batman's costume. This man went by the name of Bill Finger, great American. Bill Finger almost totally screwed over out of the creation of Batman, and it will forever be frustrating. And Bob Kane himself was a lazy artist who frequently swiped and stopped drawing after like 10 or 20 issues, but still got credit. And for the rest of his life would never really draw comics again. But he would sign his name to a whole heck of a lot of them. Now, the story goes, Arnold Drake, who created the comic Doom Patrol, which brought forward Brendan Fraser back, gave us the infinite gift of bringing Brendan Fraser back from the career back to us, has this story he likes to tell. Has this story he likes to tell. Arnold Drake has since passed away. And the basic of it is this. He and Bob Kane were over... he was over at Bob Kane's house one day, and him and Bob Kane were talking about possibly creating a newspaper strip that Drake would write and Bob Kane would sign his name to. Now, when you're talking to Bob Kane, you kind of have to really sucker him up and really big talk him. And he said, "Gee, Bob, it's such a shame you're not drawing anymore. You were a great artist." Bob Kane, of course, really likes that. "Are you sure you don't want to draw anymore?" He says, come with me. And he walks Arnold Drake to his studio. Now, Drake was surprised that Kane even bothered to have a studio anymore. And the studio is filled with nothing but these terrible, terrible, awful clown pictures. Like sad clown paintings. This is what he's been painting. He goes, "You see," and Bob Kane was a pompous ass on top of everything. "You see, Arnold, Batman was big in one side of the art world, but these paintings will be my legacy in the high art world." Anyways, so the legend goes that later he's talking to a writer at DC, and the writer is like, Have you heard? Bob is getting sued." And he's quite shocked by this. He's getting sued by one of his ghost artists. He says, "What? No. Shelley would never sue him." Shelley was the ghost artist who drew most of the original Batman strips. They knew the deal. He knew the deal. He was never going to get credit. He said, No, not for Batman. For the artist he hired to do the ghosts, to do the clown paintings. Another Bob Kane story. So, this was back when Bob Kane was still claiming he drew things. even though everybody in the industry actually knew he did not. But so he was over at DC, and the editor said, like, Bob, we have, like, there's we need you to redraw this, like, one panel. There's a whole issue with it. And he says, "Oh, fine. I'll go home and do that." And he says, like, no. We need you just go into one of the offices and you can do it real quick. And of course, this doesn't happen. Bob Kane does not do this, and so they say So the story goes that he essentially just waited around for an hour in the office until he cornered a young artist and paid him $100 to redraw the panel for him. Is that a lighter story? Is that a lighter story than military scandal and fascism in Japan, and how America after the war seemed to be weirdly okay with supporting it if it was against communism? I'm not this miserable of a guy. I swear. Although I do bring that up a lot. Stuff like that up a lot. I got known for in my friend group for a while for constantly bringing up Hitler. I got more stories. I don't know how many more stories I have. I probably have more. It's weird with history because it's just like you don't think about it and then you do think about it. I need to blow my nose. 1 second. Have a nice time, Pixie. It was great seeing you again. Don't be a stranger, okay? Or do. It's Twitch. Don't feel pressured to come on. But it was nice talking to you. Where'd my pen go? Oh, there it is. Go ahead. No worries, I'll just listen to my headphones. You guys are keeping me up today. Boop. Oh, hey, Tosh. Hey, oh my god, thank you for the raid. Thanks, Terrible. Thanks for the raid. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Lightning moisture. It's a lovely thing to be raided. How was it? How was the stream? There's. Elon's dad is a fucking creep. Anyways. That's good. Always more. So what's everybody doing? Yeah. I've heard the album of Mine thing. How dare you? Go, my friend, go. That sounds delicious. Delicious! Roar, you talk! Current eat the frog! What are you talking about? This is my normal voice. No Kermit the Frog here. I'm aware. Kermit. Yeah. 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 Elon Senior is a dickhead. Yeah, I heard that. Really? Oh, that's cool. Fun. Oh boy. Yeah. Boy, Tashi, I'm getting pretty tired here. I think we're gonna call it here. Okay. I don't got the energy to go on anymore. So let's call it here. Okay. Yeah. I will. Well, I'm about to log off. Have a good day, everybody.